Hey y'all, come on into the kitchen. Eddie and I were just standing up laughing because usually there's 3 of us here in the kitchen, or maybe 4 sometimes, but right now it's just me and Eddie, so it's very, very quiet in here. It's probably the calm before the storm, if you know what I mean. Our families are slowly getting back together, and it's been so chaotic at my house. I just, it's just been chaotic. Because I was used to, for about 3 months, seeing 3 people on a daily basis. So I'm excited because we've had a bunch of requests for this dish. And at Paula Deen's Family Kitchen, one of the most popular recipes that they select out of the entrees is chicken and dumplings. Now I know... Come on in, Michael. I'm sharing the recipe for chicken and dumplings like we make in Paula Deen's Family Kitchen.
Oh, yum.
Yes, yum. So I am gonna make it exactly like they do in the Family Kitchen restaurants. And they do it a little different than I would from home, but there's many, many ways to arrive at the goal, you might say. So I'm gonna show y'all. Now I've already cooked off our chicken. So can you get down in that pot good, Eddie? Show everybody. And this is what's in this pot, y'all. Onions, celery, water, and chicken, and of course salt and pepper. So now I'm gonna just lift out our chicken, and you want to cook it until it's just fork tender. And this is just a habit that I got used to doing when I was doing the bag lady and cooking 8 and 10 chickens a day. I'd go down the back of the chicken and just cut it right down the back. Let me see if I can turn that. I just slip it right down the back. And for some reason, it's just easier for me to pick. So I'm gonna let this cool for a minute, and then I'm gonna go back to our broth. Now, for 1 chicken, I feel like about 2.5 quarts of water will do the job for you. And I recommend that you get as small a chicken as you can because they are the tastiest. This one weighed just right at 3 pounds, and that's pretty good.
Let me ask you a
question. Ask me a question, Eddie.
I'm getting my cooking tips today. You said you cut the chicken before you put it in the pot. You cut it down the...
So it'll like lay down.
Okay.
Instead of keeping it whole, if I cut it down the back and butterfly him open, then he'll fit under the water.
Okay.
Okay, that was a good question. All right, the next step is, now that we have removed the chicken, I'm gonna put 1 tablespoon of a wet chicken base in there. And that's gonna richen our broth up because it's so important that you have a nice rich stock. Okay. So I'm gonna stir that up because that does have to dissolve. And I left the neck bones in there and the liver and the gizzards because there'll be somebody at the table that likes those. So I left them in. And now, this is what my granny taught me to do. She taught me to add 1 can of cream of celery soup. And this is gonna help thicken your broth. But that broth is gonna kind of thicken on its own because of the flour that it's gonna get from the dumplings. Eddie, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, you tell me if I don't make sense, okay?
Yeah.
I'm gonna count on you to keep me straight. Did you get that fly, Michael?
Got 2 of them.
Y'all, down here in the South, we got so many flies, you wouldn't believe it. And you know, the flies down here, they gonna come to where the good food is. And they drive us insane. Okay, so 1 can of cream of celery soup. So I'm just gonna stir that up and get that diluted in there. And if you don't have cream of celery, cream of chicken will do. That's not a problem. But it sure does just help that base. All right, now our next step is to taste our stock. Oh, I lost my spoon. To taste our stock and see if it needs any more seasoning to it. Oh my gracious. There is nothing like pure stock. Nothing like it. I could drink this whole pot. And I am gonna add just a little bit more salt, because we can always salt it at the table. And pepper. Gotta have that pepper in with those dumplings. So this is a beautiful, beautiful pot of stock, y'all. So I'm gonna put this back on the stove, and I will bring it back to a boil when I drop my dumplings in. While my dumplings are cooking, y'all, I'm gonna be picking my chicken, and it's about to get cool enough so that I can touch it. I know the skin comes off easy, but I picked so many chickens in my day, y'all, that I know where every little piece of clean meat is and what to avoid. So I'm gonna get started on the dumplings. Now, I have to say, this is something my grandmother did not do. And I think it's strictly because we didn't have the convenient products back then that they do now. So I'm gonna make our dumplings, and this is just the way Pigeon Forge does it. Myrtle Beach and Foley, Alabama and Branson, Missouri. They all have to follow this exact recipe because to us, it's right on the money. So I'm gonna take my biscuit mix. This is the Paula Deen biscuit mix. And I'm going to measure out, if I can get it out of the box. I'm gonna measure it out so I can kind of give you specific measurements. All right, that's 1 cup. And you know, how many dumplings you choose to make, that's really kind of up to you if you like a lot of dumplings or if you like mainly chicken with a few dumplings. All right, now that's 2 cups. I think I'm gonna take 3 cups because we sure do like those dumplings. And that's perfect because that gives me some left over. So I have pulled out my old tablecloth that I keep just for rolling out pastries. All right, so I'm gonna move this stuff around, Eddie, a little bit, so you have plenty of room. And that was just to show y'all what was in that stuff for the chicken and dumplings. And you can add anything else that you want to. Oh, there was something else I meant to go ahead and put in that stock, and that's fresh thyme. Or you can use dried thyme if you don't have any fresh. But I'm just gonna try to pull this off of the stems, and it comes out better if you go backwards. If you go backwards away from the leaves. Or you know, the other alternative is to just drop the whole thing down in there and just pick the stems out, because the little leaves are they're gonna come off anyway. And I'm not opposed to a stem being in there. Oh, Teresa's back. Yeah, Eddie and I said it felt so strange. Just the two of us. And then Michael came in.
You know we're not gonna miss the action.
I know, I know. So I'm just de-stemming the thyme, Teresa.
Oh, good.
And thyme is such a wonderful herb to me. I just love it. It's, to me, it's a little milder than like oregano. But you definitely need thyme on your side. You get it? Okay, so here we go with our dumplings. We've got 3 cups of our biscuit mix, and Eddie's doing like this, y'all. So I got to go.
Break. We gotta take a little break.
We got to take a break.
We gotta take a break.
Okay, I got my Paula Deen biscuit mix right here, and the director said we're gonna take a break. I'm not tired, Eddie. I can keep going.
My arm's tired.
Okay, y'all. I have stood up here and picked all this chicken. And so we're almost ready to put the chicken and the chicken bones aside. And the breast meat makes really nice, chunky, big chunks of meat for the dumplings. What are you whispering about over there? I know what you're whispering. I'm gonna go over there and knock that man out of his chair, because I know what he's saying.
What was I saying?
You make better chicken and dumplings than me.
Well, I wasn't saying that, but you're right.
Yes, yes, yes. I knew. I can smell you thinking.
We need competition.
Yeah, we do.
We'll do that one day. But today, we're doing it from the Paula Deen family's kitchen.
Paula Deen Family Kitchen.
This was the
And-
number one asked for recipe from that location.
Oh my gosh. Did y'all hear what Teresa said? It's the number 1 most requested recipe from where,
From
Teresa?
your Paula Deen family kitchen restaurants.
Oh, okay, from out of all of the family, okay.
Yeah, all of them together.
All of them together. That's pretty good. Well, we're going to see that y'all get it. It's not Michael's way, but I promise it's still good. So, we're going to set this aside. And we won't put that in our pot until after our dumplings are in the pot and ready to eat. All right, so I had some dough left over. I've got 3 cups of my biscuit mix in there. And I've got some leftover. I've got some leftover mix, so I'm gonna flour our board real good, because we're gonna roll this out. Now I've started with 1 cup of buttermilk, and we may need more, and then we may not. But we got 3 cups of the mix. So here we go. So I'm gonna do this kind of slow until it's the way I think it should be. I think I'm gonna have to get a little bit more buttermilk. I didn't think I was gonna.
Did you tell them they could buy it at the grocery store too? It's already
What,
made.
buttermilk?
No, those dumplings.
Oh, no, I hadn't told
The
them
cheater
yet.
way.
Well, I'll tell you the way my grandmother used to do them, and it's the old-timey, and it's hard. It's a lot of work. On the days I made dumplings, I would really like for somebody to be there to help me, because she made her dumplings from flour, plain flour, salt, a little pepper, and ice water. And you have to make sure it's ice water because she wanted that dough real tough. And when it's ice cold like that and tough, it's so hard to roll out, y'all. You wouldn't believe it. But so over the years, and that's the way I made mine too for years. And then one day in the grocery store, lo and behold, look what I found. I found frozen dumplings, and they're real thin and in strips, just like my grandmother made. Now some people like drop dumplings, which that's not one of my favorites. All right, so let's see. I started with a cup, right? Now I'm gonna measure out. I'm gonna measure out another half a cup and see if that will get us to the wet stage that we want. And it's coming. It's coming together, y'all. This mix makes the best biscuit you have ever put in your mouth. Okay, I'm going to dampen it just a little bit more. So when it's all said and done, we're using like a cup and a half of buttermilk to the 3 cups of my biscuit mix. All right, so I'm gonna put this out on my cloth. There we go. It looks like pretty dough, y'all. Okay, Mikey, would you take that, please? And put in the sink. Thank you. Okay, so we're gonna toss this around in our extra dough. So that works out great if you can save some of your biscuit mix, because you're gonna need it when you start putting your dough down to cut into your biscuits. So you're gonna need that extra flour. Okay, so we're just gonna roll these out. They look pretty good. Now, Grandmama always told me to get those biscuits as thin as you can get them. But let's see, I got to check with this recipe and see how thick they roll them in pigeon forge. A 1/4 of an inch thick is what they do it to. So I think that's about a 1/4 of an inch, don't y'all? And we are gonna cut those, huh?
That's an 1/8 of an inch.
An 1/8 of an inch.
Or 1/16.
Okay. Well, we're gonna cut these into squares. And we're gonna throw them over here. on top of a little bit more flour. And if you need to, just keep dusting that with your flour. How's that looking, y'all? This is gonna be a fatter dumpling than I was taught to make by my grandmother, but some people like a fluffier dumpling. Like I said, you'll find so many different ways out there to make chicken and dumplings. And you know, most of us like to try to replicate our mother's or our grandmother's dumplings. So you got lots of choices out there. But I just wanted to take the opportunity to show y'all exactly how Paula Deen Family Kitchen in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee makes them, because people rave over them. And we are located on the island there in Pigeon Forge, and it's a wonderful place to bring your children. You know, Dollywood is there. Dollywood's right over the mountain from us, but you're talking about a whole day of fun in the sun. So if you're just looking for a couple of hours to let your kids run free, the island is the best place to do it, because they've got rides for the bigger kids, they've got rides for the smaller kids, just a lot of entertainment, just a lot. And that's exactly where our restaurant is located. When you come onto the island, it's right there to your left. And like I said, if you don't want a full day of anything like that, 2 hours there and you will be so happy that you spent it there. Okay, so I'm waiting on our stock to ball, y'all. And then we're gonna drop these dumplings down into the pot. And I'm just putting a little bit more flour on them. And you'll need to get some flour on your knife so your dough won't stick. Okay, so that 3 cups of biscuit mix has produced a bunch of dumplings for us. Now here's one secret. When you drop your dumplings into your pot, you don't want to stick a spoon down there and start stirring, because it'll tear them up. You want to just shake your pot. Shake your dumplings. So this is about ready to ball, Eddie. And so we put our chicken base in there and our thyme. So all we have to do is wait for that to ball, and then we're gonna drop our dumplings in. And Eddie said, he's tired. Teresa thinks she's in Hollywood.
I've always wanted to
Yelling,
do that.
she's always wanted to yell action. All right, so the action is our stock is boiling beautifully. So I'm dropping those dumplings down in there. And if you feel like they're a little thin and don't have enough substance to them, you can just knead them around in some more flour like that, and then just drop it in. And remember, I told you now, you don't want to stir these. You want to just shake the pot, because a spoon could tear every one of them to pieces. Looking good.
Like every good chef, you've got flour on your face.
Oh, I do. That's all right. I wear powder on my face. All right, so I like what that 3 cups made. The 3 cups of biscuit mix. And they cut them in a little bit smaller squares at the restaurant, y'all. And that really doesn't matter. It just depends on the size of dumpling you want. Me, I just want a dumpling. Okay, now it is time to shake that pot.
What does that do?
Well, I can't stir them because if I stir them, it'll tear them up, Teresa. So if I just do like this, it's the same thing as stirring without taking a spoon to it and possibly breaking them up. Looks delicious. So I think those take about 5 to 8 minutes to cook. Not a real long time, so I'm just gonna keep on and give that a couple of shakes. And then we have our chicken, and we're gonna lay this over our dumplings. And then we're gonna get a big bowl and we're gonna have chicken and dumplings. All right, y'all, we cooked our dumplings maybe for 5 to 8 minutes. And I mean, I shook that pot almost the whole time they were cooking. And I dropped my chicken. Look at those dumplings, would you? Look at those dumplings. Oh. And I just dropped our chicken back on top of our dumplings. And I just want to get a little bit of chicken. Uh-oh. Somehow that wing got put in their hole, lady. I think. Okay. Does anybody want me to dip y'all some? Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, I'm dipping you some. Do you like more juice,
I like the dumplings.
Teresa, or do you like more dumplings?
More dumplings.
Okay.
You know, the fatter the better.
I can handle that. All right, there you go, sister. But I'm gonna Is that too big for you? That's a big one. I'm gonna let y'all in though. One more thing that I do that the restaurant doesn't do. Does anybody want to make a guess or a bet about what I do extra?
Add butter.
You got it. You win.
How hard was that?
Uh-oh, and that one's empty.
It was either going to be that or cream cheese.
No cream cheese.
My
But
gosh.
I do.
Oh my God.
Are they good?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look, Eddie. Look at Teresa.
Oh my gosh.
I do. I do drop a little butter in the pot when they're completely ready to serve. But Pigeon Forge does not do that. Myrtle Beach does not do that. Foley does not do that. Branson
That's our own
does
little
not do
secret.
that. Yeah, so, oh, you know what? We didn't get any butter on ours, Teresa, because I dipped ours. So I'm just going to put a little drop of butter. And that butter makes it better.
You know, I think a question people ask a lot is, do you like salted or unsalted butter? It doesn't really matter to you, right?
It does matter to me. I use salted butter on everything. Now your chefs, they would not. They would use only unsalted butter unless the recipe called for salted butter. But I'm the type that I like my cakes, my pies. I love the sweet and salty, so I want a little salt in mine. And so that's what I do. Oh, Teresa.
I mean, they're the bomb. People should be making that as soon as they see this video. It's worth every bite.
And Teresa, the thyme just brings such a natural taste to it, doesn't it? And so I can understand why Southerners have always turned to this as their comfort dish, their comfort food. I mean, it's seasoned perfectly. So I hope that you don't have trouble following this recipe. I know it can be a little confusing, and I thought about it hard to give y'all the correct measurements. So, love and best dishes, make those chicken and dumplings, y'all. They're so good. Your family will love you for it. Hey y'all, it's Paula Deen. Now, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it and click the subscribe button as well as the notification bell to be alerted when I post a video. Love and best dishes, y'all.